Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion like Pretty Girl's mom and Christy and Carrie here, you can join me most weekdays where I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time. Outside of my live stream, if you want to reach out to me, you can consider joining the Discord I created. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also, down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to get some idea of the meals that our family is enjoying or that I've been eating to help me to lose the weight. Today is day 765 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose almost 230 pounds so far. I'm looking forward to reaching my goal by the end of this year, November, or actually 1 year, by the end of October of 2023, and then living the rest of my life as at a healthy weight. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love those as well. How are you doing on your diets? Did you succeed this weekend? Did you struggle this weekend? If you succeeded, what did you do to succeed? If you struggled, what caused your struggles? And what are you going to do in the future to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's switch over to the main picture here. A couple comments. Pretty Girl's mom says, happy Meatless Monday, family. Yes, every Monday is a Meatless Monday, Christy. And hi, Christy says she's prepping tofu for her Meatless Monday meal. And Carrie says it's happy Mega Monday because we're having mega veggie chili at home tonight. Tennis girl, no problem. Have fun with your yoga class, Rick. Hello. And yeah, mega veggie chili Monday. It's gonna be great dinner. I really haven't eaten a lot today, but I'm going to go over the food from the weekend that I took photos of, and then we will go from there. Let me see if I can find the right link. So I don't know that I even took some very good photos this weekend, but let me see what I have. Let's see. Let's see. Friday, I talked about that. Friday evening. Here we go. All right. So, food for the weekend after the stream, I went home and we had a wonderful dish that is not showing up, and this isn't even pretending like it wants to. Let me switch this to here and see if it makes a difference. All right, let's try it one more time. Oh, it's not broadcasting, so that would be why. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens on the screen. Pretty Girl's mom says taters are always good. Yes, Rick says he's eating taters. I have been eating taters today too. This is my lunch that I haven't finished. I eaten about a potato and a half today. So there's the photo from Friday though. That is the polenta with white beans and mushroom. I feel like I had a ton of this Friday. I'm sure I had a couple servings of it, but I am going to try to flip through some of the photos here. That's photo of it mixed up now on the screen. And then this was Saturday. I actually had Saturday morning for breakfast, I had leftovers just because the oatmeal wasn't ready and I was hungry. So Saturday, I really ate a ton of food early in the day. And it did sustain me most of the day without feeling like I was hungry the rest of the day. But I did start the day off eating a large volume of food. I had this, and then I also had oatmeal Saturday morning. So like I said, I started the day with a ton of food, felt great all weekend. And then Saturday, for kind of a late lunch, early dinner, we had Spanish rice. No beans, just Spanish rice. It was really good. And then I didn't take a photo of yesterday. See, this is Saturday. This was a Saturday too. So this is I ate a lot Saturday. So this was dinner on Saturday, I guess. I had like 4 meals Saturday, if I had to guess here. This was potatoes with carrots and broccoli. And then we had a barbecue sauce that we had made for the plant-based Gabriel's 3-2-1 burgers that I mixed some of that barbecue sauce into this. It was very sweet because it was sweetened with like date powder or dates. But this was our dinner on Saturday. And then yesterday, we were really busy all day yesterday and really actually put ourselves in a bad spot with food as far as me and Carrie go, because we had gone most of the day. We ate breakfast, we had our oatmeal, but we had a really busy day. So we were running around doing lots of things throughout the day. We ended up going to a musical in the afternoon that took up a ton of our time. And so did not eat a ton on Sunday. Got the oatmeal in the morning, and then at night we had some rice with pineapple, and I didn't take a photo of it. And it was pretty good. It was a little dry, but it was good to get something in my belly because I was pretty hungry after how busy we were on Sunday. And I would say that was really the biggest struggle on Sunday, was at the end of the day, being so hungry and not giving in to temptations, or not just being like, hey, I'm just going to have whatever I want. You know, it's still hard to figure that out, or we're still trying to figure that out. And it was, like I said, it was a unique day just because of how busy we ended up being. I can't remember what we did before. Oh, Carrie went into town. There was this Christmas thing in town, and we had a bunch of stuff throughout the day on Sunday. And then today, I didn't take photos, but I had oatmeal. And then, like I said, I've been working on some potatoes here. So I'm like a couple potatoes into food today. But overall, it was a good weekend. Being busy does help keep you away from food, which is great. But it was a great weekend. We had lots of fun, and we were able to get out and do some things. The weather hasn't gotten so bad that we can't do anything. Carrie says here, it ended up being way busier weekend than she had expected. Yeah, it was just, it's just constant back to back to back, running people to different places or doing different things. So it was a busy weekend. I did have a non-scale victory. I was going to share. I've talked a little bit about the belt I wear. I have a belt that I am wearing right now that I have owned for years. I don't know when I got the belt, but after I had lost some weight on this diet, I opened up some boxes of some clothing that I had not worn in a while, and I found a belt in that box. When I was at my heaviest, I didn't wear a lot of jeans or pants that would require a belt. So I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have many belts laying around. So when I opened up this box, there was a belt in there. I thought, great, I can start using that belt. And that belt I found had the notches in it from the manufacturer. But one of the things that I had done with that belt is I must have been wearing it as I was gaining weight. And I got to a point where the belt didn't fit anymore at the largest size that was on that belt. And so at one point in time, I had drilled out another hole on the end of the belt so that it was big enough for me, because I had outgrown the belt. So fast forward a few years, lose some weight, find that belt, start wearing that belt again. And a few weeks ago, or even a month or so ago, one of my non-scale victories was that I was wearing that belt and I was able to tighten it to the last notch on the belt, which is a great victory. Like, I mean, it's really shows how many inches I was able to lose from the time I found the belt till now. But what my non-scale victory, I guess, would be is that that belt now, if I don't have it on the smallest size, my pants fall down. So I've gotten to the point where I'm getting to the end of this belt and I'll have to start drilling in some holes to make the belt smaller. So for me, that's a pretty awesome non-scale victory. And just overall being able to get back into the clothes that I grew out of is a great feeling. But then to be in the clothing that I grew out of and actually be in a position where that clothing is too big for me. And that's been something that I'm running into a lot now. The other non-scale victory, clothing related, is I got a new coat and Carrie had picked up the coat. It was actually a gift I got, but they had picked up the coat and it was a 3X tall coat. And I put it on and it just looked ridiculous. It was far too big. So I actually now have a coat that is a 2XL coat. I'm not a huge fan of how it fits right now, but I know that I will fit into the coat very soon and it fits me. It's just something that I've always been somebody who liked to have my clothes real baggy, kind of hanging off of me. And so to be wearing something that kind of is tight around my midsection is new and uncomfortable for me. But I didn't feel comfortable because of the tightness of it, but looking at myself in the coat, I was like, that's a great fitting coat. It fits fine. And most people would wear it with the way it fits. So, yeah, Anthony says, yeah, wearing clothes after losing a lot of weight is funny. And I actually have a whole garbage bag of clothes now that I put together that I am just getting rid of. I kind of would maybe like to donate them, but I don't know if it's worth donating it. I just want to get rid of the clothing so I can say that I'm done with it. So I sorted a bunch of clothing and got rid of a lot of my the biggest stuff I had. I kept a few of the items kind of as hey, look at the difference. These were the pants I used to wear and now look at me now. But other than that, I've been trying to get rid of some of that old clothing that is too big for me to wear. So yeah, it's great to be able to just feel more comfortable in myself. One of the other topics, I don't really have it flushed out exactly what I'm going to say, but it's about diets and it's about blaming ourselves for the failure of diets. Something that I've, you know, gone back and forth on about, the, are we victims of the environment? Is it our own fault that we're fat? Whose fault is it that we're fat if it's not our own fault that we're fat? And the thing that when it comes to diets, when you're overweight, you get to the point where I got to where I was 520 pounds. I constantly blamed myself for the failure. It was my fault I was 500 pounds. It was my fault I couldn't stop eating. It was my fault that I was making bad food choices time after time, day after day. It was always my fault. And so we're all in this mentality that it is our fault that we're fat. And in some way it is our fault that we're fat because we ate the food but the environment that we live in makes it very difficult to stay thin. But anyways, what happens is you've been blaming yourself for years and years about being overweight, and you finally decide to do something and you start a diet. And you see great success with that diet at the beginning because many diets are going to see success in the beginning if you're eliminating processed foods, if you're changing the composition of the calories that you're eating, you're going to see results from those changes, especially if you're eating a really bad diet beforehand, like I was eating. So you start this new diet, and this new diet works. You start to lose weight and you're like, holy cow, this is the diet. This is the thing for me. This works. It's the one. I'm going to get there this time because I found the diet that works. And time goes on. And at first the diet was easy, but then it starts to get tougher, and it gets tougher and tougher and tougher till it gets to a point where you either can't stay on the diet anymore, or you are, yeah, you get to a point where you have to make a change. And when we get to that point, we start blaming ourselves again for failing the diet. We blamed ourselves before we dieted for failing ourselves. Now we're doing this diet. Many of these diets are unsustainable. They're low calorie diets. They're very restrictive diets, and you aren't able to maintain them for long periods of time. For the person that's looking to lose 10 or 20 pounds, a lot of diets are going to help you lose that 10 or 20 pounds. But for somebody who's looking to lose 150, 200, 300 pounds, unsustainable diets will only get you so far, because your need for that diet outlives the sustainability of that diet. And when you reach that point where the diet is no longer sustainable, you can't sustain the diet anymore, you start to internalize again. And you start to say, I'm failing again. I'm making bad food choices again. I am the fault. I'm the problem. And you get into that cycle again, and you either give up or you double down. And then after doubling down a month later, you still run into that same issue. And eating a whole food, plant-based diet allows you that sustainable volume of food so that you can maintain the diet day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. There's a bunch of people who can sit down and say, I've been whole food plant-based for a decade, for 2 decades, for 3 decades. I don't see a lot of people out there saying, I've been eating keto for 10, 20 years. I've been, and it's not just that these people that have eaten this plant-based diet are eating the diet, but they're sticking to it and they're staying on it, and they can. When you're on the keto, these keto diets, these low calorie diets, they can say, hey, I've been doing a low calorie diet for 10 years, but there might be a period in there where they weren't sticking to the low calorie, or, but the diet of a, Carrie says, hey, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. No, it's not you. We're a team in that, like I screw up your diet and you screw up my diet. Right. But, the sustainability of it is not there. It was never there. When you first started, it was doable, but not sustainable. So you can't keep blaming yourself for your failures. If the diet sucks, the diet sucks. It's not you. And there's lots of diets that suck out there. Okay, it's the Taylor Swift lyric. Okay. Oh, you're saying it's not me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me talking internally. It's a Taylor. Okay. See, I don't pick up on things. I'm not into the pop culture scene, I guess. Right. But it's not. It's the environment. It's so tough to fight this environment that we're in, and to get past the it's just something that with this diet, I am sitting here 2 years and 1 month into it, and I'm doing great. I'm feeling amazing. I don't have any desire to eat any of that old crap processed foods that I used to eat. The desires I get are for whole foods, for cashews, for nut butters, for shredded wheats, like stuff that 99% of the population would say that is would be acceptable on all diets, like It's not stuff that anybody would feel guilty about eating. But, Plants Only Muncher here says you don't use the word diet. You use the phrase food plan or lifestyle. A diet has a beginning and an end for you. The other two don't have an end, and you don't need to lose weight. Yes. Diet's a funny word because it's in the title of my channel, FA Dieting. Everybody has a different relationship with the word diet. I always attributed diet's what you eat. A diet is, you can have a good diet, you can have a bad diet. A diet is the culmination of all the foods a person eats is that person's diet. It doesn't mean it's a good diet. It doesn't mean that it's a bad diet. It's just that it's their diet. I have a diet. You have a different diet than me. Carrie has a different diet. Pretty Girl's mom has a different. We all have different diets. But yeah, it does have some pretty negative connotations to it. And the lifestyle is obviously the most common kind of term people use. And it's almost, it fits with a plant-based diet. A plant-based lifestyle actually kind of fits. To say you're eating a keto lifestyle or a carnivore lifestyle, I just don't know that those fit. Like you can't, can you have a lifestyle of those diets? Whereas this diet definitely is sustainable and can be a lifestyle. All right. Yeah, so the word diet, it has different, and different people have different relationships. But at the end of the day, my hope is that people get less worked up about the word diet, like that it becomes part of, it doesn't, diet is a 4-letter word, right? Like, don't talk to me about my diet. Like that would have been 2 years ago, that would have been a 4-letter word to me. But now, it's a little bit different. But yeah, it's the same thing with the scale too. Everybody has different relationship with words. They have different relationships with objects like the scale. I don't let the scale kind of affect me as much as some other people might let the scale. And there's probably people that let the scale affect them even less than I let it affect me. So, but yeah, it is a lifestyle, and it is a sustainable lifestyle. Like that's really the thing, like that's I look back and I think, I lost all that weight fasting, and I could have done that no matter what diet I chose to do. But if I had not chosen to eat a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I don't know where I'm at here. I don't know if I make it to day 765. I don't know if I make it to day 100 eating a different diet than a whole food plant-based diet. And the other big thing about this diet that I want to make sure people understand is that it really isn't like a gimmick diet or gimmicky. Like there's nothing that I am looking at and saying that is the key to my weight loss. When I look back at all the other times that I've lost weight in my life, back in the early 2000s, I was taking ephedra. Ephedra was what was propping up my weight loss. 2009, I lost a bunch of weight going to the gym 5-6 times a week. That gym membership was propping up my weight loss. 2013, I started taking a prescription drug, ephedramine, from my doctor, propped up by a drug. It was those times when I look back at my biggest weight loss accomplishments as an adult, every one of them was held there by a force outside of myself, or an object externally from myself. This diet is not that way. I'm not relying on eating the same thing every day, or I have to have this program or it fails. Like, how many times is that's happened to me so many times myself personally, just in the examples I gave. The ephedra, as soon as that company, it became illegal to put ephedra in the product, as soon as it went away, I gained weight. As soon as I quit going to the gym, gained weight. As soon as I stopped taking phentermine, gained weight. This diet, there's nothing to stop. Like, as soon as I stop eating potatoes and broccoli, I'm going to gain weight. Like, it's just so silly. Like, it's something that I don't have to go to a single source or a special place to get. I don't have to go to my doctor to get the pills. I don't have to go to the gym to work out. I don't have to go to the sales rep that's selling me some prepackaged foods. I don't have to go to that website that's shipping my food to me. I'm in control of the food that I get. I'm in control of the food that I eat. I'm in control of the food in my life. And other diets, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't me doing all the work. It was me looking for that cheat code, that how can I get light faster or as fast as possible? How can I get to a healthy weight as fast as possible so I can go back to living the lifestyle I used to live? And that was a big goal starting this channel, is that I knew that I needed to change the lifestyle. I needed to change the decisions that I make on a day-to-day basis to being healthier, better decisions. And it's the long game. It's not quick. I could have lost this weight so much. Like, I could lose the weight faster than I am. But like I said, I don't know that I'm still here 765 days, maybe. And the first 200 pounds I lost was in like 9 months. And so I don't know that there's going to be any diet out there that's really going to give me better weight loss results than the first 9 months of this diet. And then once it started to waver, once I started to let other foods in and not be so perfect on my diet, a year and a half later, I'm 30 pounds lighter, 40 pounds lighter than I was at the end of the second year. So, or at the end of that 11 months, at the end of the first year. And another diet, I'm not doing it. Carrie says, yes, I wanted to lose the weight so that I could go back to eating normal. Like that was it. Like, it was always, I only have to do this for time. And they try to tell you that too. Don't, it's just for now. It's just for now, because they want you to gain the weight back. They just want you to do it now so that they can get your money to help you lose weight. And then once you stop using their products, you go back to the crap you used to eat, you gain the weight, and you're like, hey, that product worked for me. Let me go get it again. And they get you as a second time. If the companies really cared, they wouldn't want return customers. They would want to lose money. If they really cared, they would want people to not come back. But they don't. They care about money. They want your money. And all they're selling you is a gimmick to just get your money. It's just this cycle, and when you get to the top, when you get to the big, who owns what company and doing what things, you look at these companies that they own these fitness clubs, and they also own candy companies. They also own junk food manufacturers. The people, lean cuisine probably isn't just owned. It's probably owned by Hot Pockets, I'm sure it is. But not that lean cuisine is health food by any means. That's a whole different thing. About a company can name themselves anything they want, regardless of what their product is. But they want you to buy their lean products. They want you to buy their diet products to lose weight. And then once you can't sustain that diet, you indulge in their high calorie products, and you indulge in those so long that you get fat. And you're like, hey, I need to go on a diet again. Let me go back to their health products. And they get you in this big cycle, back and forth. Lose weight, gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. The amount of money I have spent trying to lose weight is absurd. And I'm sure it's the same for so many people out there that have been losing weight. But, you know, like I said, I bought those pills in the early 2000s. When I went to the gym, me and Carrie went, and at the time, the TV show The Biggest Loser was a big thing. And they had these armbands that do what the watch does now, but it was counting your steps and your calories. And it was like, this is what The Biggest Loser people use to keep track of everything. And this is how they're losing weight. And so we spent like $300 a piece on these armbands that we wore around and didn't see any success from those armbands, you know, like just another gimmick to get our money, to get our money, to get our money, to get our money. And it's not about your health. They don't care about our health. Like if I run a company, let's say I get hired as CEO to Nestle Corporation. If I have a food scientist come up to me and he says, hey, we're losing money because our competitor has added sugar to their product, or our competitor did this that is making the product less healthy for our customers, but they're buying it. What do you want to do? If I tell him to just leave things, and he has a solution, let's say he has a solution. He says, this is what we're going to do. We're going to add a little bit more sugar. We're going to add a little bit of these chemicals here. We're going to get that market share back. But it is going to be a little bit higher calorie, probably going to hurt, you know, but nobody's eating our food every day all the time. They're just eating it as a snack food once in a while. So it's not going to be a big deal if we kind of raise our sugar in here or raise our bar for the amount of oil that we're allowing in the food. And if I refuse to make that change as the owner of the company, if somebody, one of my employees comes up and says, hey, I can make the company $2 million more this year by doing this. If I don't do it, I can get fired because I'm not doing what is in the best interest of the shareholders. That's who they care about, is the shareholders, the people that are profiting off of their sales. It's not the customer. It's the customer is not the person. The only concern that they have for the customer is how can they get the money out of your wallet to buy their product so that their stock goes up, so their shareholders get dividends. And if you don't act in the best interest of the company, you can't be the boss. You have to, you know, if you act in the best interest of the customer, you can be fired. Like, how stupid is that? But it's, you know, and it's maybe not how stupid is it. It's how upsetting is it that we don't realize it? How upsetting is it that it's not fixed? Like there, and I don't know how you fix it. I don't know that you can fix it. The only way you can fix it is to choose to eat foods that aren't in boxes. Choose to eat foods that somebody didn't pay millions of dollars to have the box be the perfect color with the right lettering and the facts up front and the all the other crap that goes into it, all the advertising, the TV spots. Just they spend millions and billions to get your money, when all you got to do is go to the store and buy potatoes, buy broccoli, buy rice, buy red pepper, celery, corn, you know, spinach, all the good stuff, oranges, fruits, apples, all the foods that we should be eating, all the foods that if we were walking around would have been around, you know, if we weren't living now, the foods that would be around. And not that the foods that we, you know, even the foods we get, these potatoes, this potato here is probably bigger than most potatoes used to be ever, you know, especially of that type or style of potato. So we have engineered the food a bit, but not like the processed foods are. Anyways, I kind of went on about it. I feel like we have got to fight back. We have to start eating a better diet. We have to believe in yourself. You are not the problem. And even if you are the problem, you can fix it. If you pay attention to the foods that you're eating and you look at the calorie density of the food. Like, I never realized how important calorie density was. And I always thought that these low calorie dense foods were rabbit food. It was not fit for human consumption. And I'm realizing that because of that mentality is why I got the 520 pounds. Alicia says, how do you get through a plateau? You've been at 131 to 133 for 2 months now. Erg, help, cut starches, focus on salads. You don't know what to do. Alicia, there's some great videos out there by Dr. Lisle where he talks about behavioral equilibrium that I would recommend checking into that. The foods that you're eating, it's so tough for me to, based off of this, to know exactly, but increasing your vegetable intake is definitely going to help. That's something that I think it was a quote from Dr. Goldhamer, something along the lines of, you show me somebody who can't lose the weight and I will, it was something about, you show me somebody who is unable to lose the weight and I'll show you somebody or it's something about being unwilling to eat enough greens is what it is. So if somebody is not losing weight, maybe you are eating too many starches, not enough greens. But don't, 2 months, I don't know what your goal is, Alicia, for your goal weight. And I don't know what your starting weight is, but have you ever maintained your weight for 2 months like this? Have you lost weight and then because that's what I hold on to. Like, I went from the first year losing like 200 pounds in a year. And then since there, a year and a month later, I've lost another 30-ish pounds or 40 pounds, 30 or 40 pounds. My hair is bugging me today. The whole second year, I was floundering, or floundering is not the right word, but the whole second year, I didn't see the weight loss success that I saw the first year. And I was starting to blame myself and I was starting to internalize it a bit. But what I had to realize is that I've never maintained a weight loss for a year. Like, if I would have not lost any weight, if I still was 330 pounds, that would still be a huge accomplishment for me because I don't maintain weight loss. I either gain weight or I eat like an anorexic person and I lose weight. So I don't ever in my life I can't say that I found a diet that allowed me to maintain my weight. So you need to find success in your maintenance. 2 months is not a long time on a plateau. It feels like it. I know it feels like it. And I did it for really, and Anthony was great. Anthony's been great. He's been along this whole time that I've been on this kind of plateau, and you just got to ride it out. Just keep on keeping on, and you have, let's see, you say, oh, increase the veggies. Yeah, I would look at increasing the veggies, and you say you eat like I do, you copy my system. So you're eating salt, oil, sugar-free, plant-based, which is great. And then you said you started at 145 in June. And then, here, thanks, man. Thanks. You called me bro, so I called you man, even though your name's Alicia. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, you copy me, and Dr. Lisle is your coach. Great. So you do, so some of that, like it's a little bit of the ego trap too, like you're yeah, you're down 15 pounds and you're still down 15 pounds. Like you're between 130 133, like have you it's so yeah, it's long. we talked about it's lifestyle. It's not diet, right? It's not crash diet. This is not a crash diet. This is a lifestyle. Like that's the difference. And just keep at it. Like I'm hoping that I see a good week on the scale. I'm thinking I will, if it based off of what I saw this morning on the scale. But I struggled so much, and it's really tough for me because you're like tiny compared to me. Being 130 pounds is it's weird for me because you are so much healthier than me. Like at your weight, like in my opinion. I don't know anything about you, but just like unless you're 4 foot tall, I don't know that you're like morbidly obese like I was, I guess. Like that's what's anyways. You rarely slip up or cheat. You keep at it. You can't go back to your old version of healthy eating. You can't imagine eating keto-ish ever again. Oh yeah, I'm so happy that I found this. Like when I started this, I didn't know I was going to be eating plant-based. During the fast is when I found out about eating a plant-based diet, but I definitely was in the paleo, keto, carnivore kind of mentality. Maybe not carnivore. But paleo, keto, like was what I was going to go to. I'm so happy I found this way. Just keep at it. I know it's tough and it's hard to convince yourself that it's gonna happen, but it will. And I talked to Carrie about it a little bit too, is that I am in such a hurry to get to my goal weight. But after about 11 months into this diet, I lost all doubt that the diet wouldn't eventually get me to my goal. The timing of it is slower than I would like. But again, I have no doubt that if I continue to eat this way, even with the slip ups I've had in the past before the 60 days ago, but even with those, over time, I will eventually get to a goal weight. It might only be a few ounces a week, but eventually eating this way will get me to my goal weight. And I have no doubts of that. And I haven't had any doubts of that for over a year. And that's made the diet a little bit easier to stick to as well. Like I feel so good so much of the time. And it's just not something I could ever imagine changing. Barb says 15 pounds in a year would be fantastic. You're doing great, Alicia. Yes, you really are. Like at 145, you've lost over 10% of your body weight in less than, in about 6 months. That's great. If you lost another 10% of your body weight in the next 6 months, then you'll be at 120 pounds. I don't know if you wrote what your goal weight is here, but 15 pounds a year is good. It's not bad. And it's better than gaining 15 pounds a year, because that's the path I was on, gaining 15 pounds a year easily. And then you couldn't poop on keto, and you were hungry and weak and moody, eating low carb. This SOFAS, the salt, oil, flour, alcohol, and sugar. Is that what SOFA stands for? I think that's the Chef AJ. Free is the norm in your kitchen now. That's awesome. And Carrie says, I know how much, that also keeps me, is that I know how much healthier I am now, which is a huge win. Like, but just did you eat? So when you started this diet in June, was it from, like, you went from eating standard American diet or Western diet to this diet, which I'd be curious about, but you didn't know the nice losses would just stop. Yeah, it kind of happened to me too. Like I said, it was, I was on a rocket ship at first because of the fasting, which I can't expect anybody to really mimic that. But the diet, yeah, and I had a lot of weight to lose, but it gets to a point where it gets tough. And uh and it's, if it's really bugging you, then you you have to look at the, it's your calorie intake for a day. For a woman is, let's say, 2000 calories, or 17 let's say 1700 calories is your calorie intake for a day. That's your total daily energy expenditure, 1700 calories. You're going to eat 1500 calories regardless. Like, your body's going to crave to eat that much food. If you eat a plant-based diet, you can eat a much higher volume of food. Where your weight loss is going to be in that last 200 calories. It's that how far away from your total daily energy expenditure do you get with your calorie intake and your energy expenditure. A lot of people, I think Dr. Lisle included, talks about adding a little bit of exercise in. If you find yourself kind of at an equilibrium, change that total daily energy expenditure to 1800 or 1900 calories a day. So that eating the same amount of food will show you, you'll get that 100, 200 calorie benefit. The difficult part with that, though, is we make up that excuse. We say, man, I worked out so hard today, I deserve to have that nut butter. I worked out so hard, I can have an avocado, like stuff that you wouldn't have justified eating without working out. So you have to be careful of that. And then you say you started from a keto-ish low carb to SOFAs free in late May and fully converted by June. That's awesome. So yeah, the yeah, and it's like, it's so nice to be, the one of the comments you made is you couldn't poop on keto. That is something that I've not had a problem with this diet. I got to say that is something satisfying about that, actually, which is funny. But there's lots of other things that this diet has provided too. So anyway, I really went long. Alicia, keep updating us. Let me know how it's going. I'm very excited to hear how you're doing. 15 pounds since June is amazing. So I definitely have to applaud you on that. That's really great. And stick to it. It's so it's easy to give up, but the I don't know. I feel so good on it. Like, I walk around today, all day today. I've been walking around just like, wow, I feel so thin. And Produce Not Pills, are you asking Alicia's goal weight? Maybe. My goal weight's 219. And but yeah, you try to yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who follows my channel and listens, and you, you following this diet is awesome. Yeah, mine. Yeah, 219.8 is my goal. I started at 519.8 and I want to lose 300 pounds. I actually would love to get even lower, but when I started this, 300 was my goal, and that's what I'm sticking to at this point. Once I hit 300, we'll see where it goes. Barb says the whole food plant-based motto is we are number one at number two. Yes. Yeah. So Alicia, you're looking to get down that another, I mean, it's not likely going to happen in the next 6 months. But if you saw the same success in the next 6 months that you saw the last 6 months, you'll be amazing. If you look at it from a half-life perspective, let's say you went from, you lost half your goal in 6 months. In another 6 months, if you lose half that weight, you'll be at 127. Another 6 months after that, you'll be, at 124. I mean, it might take a year, but it's worth it. It really is. And the life you're giving yourself by eating this way, like, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if any of it's true, but I feel much better. And I know that a lot of people that switch to this produce pill says you'll achieve it, no problem. You have many rooting you on. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have, like I said, a year ago, I lost all doubt that I was going to get to my goal weight. The only doubt that's in my head is getting to my goal weight by October 31st of 2023. That's the only thing that is on the table. But, even if I failed, I don't think I would feel like a failure. Like, I've lost 230 pounds. I feel great. I got to go. My wife's texting me, telling me to shut the heck up. All right, I'm leaving. Thank you guys so much. I'm getting out of here. If you haven't started your diet, get started right now. I did it all backwards. Get started now, though. Start your diet. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't hit the like button, all that other stuff, all the YouTube stuff, comment, all that stuff, do it. I got to go, though. My wife's yelling at me. Not really, but you know what I mean.